Hello, Centaurs. Welcome back to Team Time with our admin team. Good to see you.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
As always, these episodes are here for you so we can try and answer some of the questions you've got and also give you a weekly challenge. And then we usually interview a special guest. So this week's special guest is our Mayor of Coquitlam, Mayor Richard Stewart.
Hey, Centaurs. Last week we were talking a bit about what we were doing to keep us busy during this time. And I had mentioned that I'm watching way too much Netflix and Amazon. So it prompted you to ask us, well, what are you watching? I have a couple recommendations for you. If you are bored, I would check out Chef's Table on Netflix and Home on Apple TV. Mr. King.
Mine is Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Ugly Delicious. Mr. Jackson.
Nice. I've been watching the documentary about the Chicago Bulls in the late '90s, The Last Dance. Yeah. Mr. Chavita?
Yeah, I've been watching The Last Kingdom and Evil.
Nice.
So we have a few questions from the students that we get every week. Reminder, you can fill in the form and the link is included below. So first, the questions Mr. Jackson will be doing, what are we doing for refunds for cap and gown?
Yeah, and our plan right now for caps and gowns is to complete the order. So we won't be doing a refund for the cap and gown specifically because we intend to get those. And we're still in plans about what we're going to do around grad celebrations and commencement. And once we know more about that, we'll be back in touch with you guys. But caps and gowns will be coming to the school and we'll have those on hand for whatever sorts of photos we're able to share and digital celebrations where we cook up in the near future for you guys.
Another question we got was last week, how did Mr. Sofito get his custom background in Teams? And just a little peek behind the curtains. Actually, we are recording these on Zoom and you're able to use custom backgrounds. Zoom allows us to have 4 people on screen and record it so it's more clear for you guys. And then finally, how much will my mark change, Mr. Cholfito?
All right. So the ministry has indicated that your mark is going to be based on the work you completed before spring break as well as the work you complete after spring break. So your students are expected to complete all that work. The amount that your mark change is really dependent on the level of engagement and quality of work that you submit. So in other words, if you're completing all the work and demonstrating proficient learning and understanding, then your mark will increase. And if you're not doing the work or not submitting, then your mark will decrease. So we recognize that these are unique times and that circumstances for families and students are all different. And so if you are having a tough time engaging in your learning right now, then you need to reach out to us. Absolutely let us know. We've got a great support team that will help you out. And so I want to make sure that you know that we're here for you. All right. Well, this week we get to have our City of Coquitlam Mayor, Richard Stewart, join us as our guest. Hello, Mr. Stewart.
Well, hello.
Nice to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Great. So what has changed for you since the COVID-19 outbreak?
What hasn't changed?
What hasn't? Yeah.
It is a completely different reality. We have a large number of issues just trying to keep the city's regular functions going. There's an Italian saying, "Se vogliamo che tutti rimanga come, bisogna che tutti campo," which is, if you want everything to stay the same, everything's going to have to change. And that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to get everything in the city to keep going. So we're having to be way more digital and way more nimble and fleet-footed in order to try to make that happen. And one of the ways is this communication through Zoom.
Nice. And yeah, what have you been doing to help you get through this time?
Lots of Zoom. We actually have, well, primarily the reality is that in BC and Canada, we follow the advice of epidemiologists for public policy during pandemic and seismologists during an earthquake and those sorts of things. So the public policy associated with public health isn't mine. It's not the Premier's. It's Dr. Bonnie Henry's. So we just follow her. And that's why ours is going relatively smoothly. And you'll see lots of countries where politicians are in charge of that response and it doesn't go well. So largely our role has been to listen intently and then make sure we're implementing those functions at TransLink and at Metro Vancouver and the various other bodies that local government gets involved in.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So Mayor Stewart, is there anything you would like to say to the students of Centennial?
Stick with it. This has been a tough time, a really unusual time, and we know that it's hard on families. We know it's hard on young people. We know it's just hard. But we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. If we do as we've been advised to do, it will work, and it has worked up till now. We've certainly made sure that the curve is flatter now than in most countries and most jurisdictions around the world. We have to stick with it, and when we get to the point where we can start to lighten up the restrictions, we'll be happy that we did this time. That this, there's going to be some challenges certainly related to an uncertain future. But that future we can build properly by making sure the experts are guiding us and we're all working toward the same goal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure that many people are looking forward to a time when it feels somewhat normal again and we can get outside and connect with one another in a more physical, face-to-face way. So,
no, absolutely. But we have to remember that there's so many places in the world where they can't get outside. So yesterday I got to ride my bike to the office again, and the day before again. We can do things partly because we responded so quickly and so early. So the glass is more than half full. It's still a challenging time, but we got this, Coquitlam.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for taking care of our great city. We appreciate it, and we wish you a very safe and a happy future here as you continue your role as mayor and taking care of this wonderful place.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you very much, and best of luck to you and the whole team.
Great. Thanks, Mayor Stewart.
Stay safe.
You too.
All right. Awesome. How exciting that we had the mayor here. I get to design or propose our challenge for this week. And so something that we've been doing a lot of when we hang out in the foyer, and you can see by my background that I'm actually at home today. I mentioned having little baby Freddie on hand, and so I'm actually at home today helping out around here and visiting through Zoom and being part of meetings on Teams. But when we're all in the foyer, we have been listening to lots of music, and we were wondering what you guys are out there listening to. So if you want to reply to the form survey, or even send one of the four of us an email about what music is getting you through these times where probably there's a lot of headphone time and a lot of home time. And so what might we put on a playlist that we can jam out to in the foyer? Usually Mr. King supplies us with our playlist, and I know that that's a challenging task for him because we're constantly asking him to provide us with new tunes. So if you could help him out and help us out with our foyer listening, we would most appreciate it. All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So we will see you in a week. Don't forget, if you've got questions for us, leave them in the link below, and we will do our best to answer those questions for you on the next episode.
Great.
Take care.
All right, take care.
See you, Centaurs.